Yo, what up? It's JSF, and I want to talk about something that nobody's talking about, or I guess nobody else noticed from the trailer, and that's that the ninjas we see, which everyone assumes, I want to say rightfully so, is Scorpion and Sub-Zero, are not playable in the game. Now, before y'all kill me, the website already said Scorpion and Sub-Zero are playable, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. I see what you're saying, but hear me out. Give me a second to just explain where this comes from, right? So, this trailer, the reveal trailer for Mortal Kombat 1, the 12th game, it's not called MK12 if you don't know, showcases, Liu Kang's new world, new characters, etc., right? There's a lot going on. And the trailer positions the characters in pairs as if they're rivals, right? First you got Raiden and Kung Lao, and I know people will say Raiden and Kung Lao have never been rivals. What are you talking about? Well, Liu Kang and Kung Lao, while they were cousins sometimes, while they were friends or whatever, they had a friendly rivalry because Liu Kang was the chosen one and Kung Lao kind of wanted to be the chosen one, right? So that's been a thing. Katana and Melina, I don't think I need to explain the rivalry or the conflict there. They've never liked each other. Katana has always seen her as like an abomination, and Melina has like jokingly referred to her as sister. But in this world, it seems like they might actually be sisters because you see them riding together, right? And not at each other's throats for the first time ever. Then we have the topic of today's video, the two ninjas, who I'll call Scorpion and Sub-Zero for now, right? You see these two who we know their history, the rivalry they've had, but in the future timelines, like MK11 and even MKX started it really, well, it wasn't the first time, but it was where, they became allies, right? And they just became the new Deadly Alliance, and they've been boys ever since. So again, there's a lot of pairing characters that are similar together. Then there's Liu Kang and Shang Tsung, who are completely different. So what makes me think these two are the two that stand out that may be different and may not be playable? Well, there's a lot of things. First off, yes, Raiden and Kung Lao definitely have some similarities, but they've never been that similar. I mean, their costumes are kind of similar in the sense of what kind of shirts they wear, but they still have enough distinguishing factors. And Kung Lao's hat is different, and his hat is like a big part of his gameplay. So Raiden always has had that hat. So I'm not saying, hey, look, they both have hats, they're similar. Like, no, they both always had hats and have never made them similar. Liu Kang and Shang Tsung are clearly massively different, even though they're paired opposite each other as rivals, right? Katana and Melina also they're always gonna look similar. They're based on the same person, but they look pretty different. And Scorpion and Sub-Zero, just aesthetically, if you look at those two as characters, they look identical. I said it when I first saw the trailer. My initial reaction was they look like twins. They look like the exact same character. Now, you could argue Raiden and Kung Lao look similar, have similar outfits, but Scorpion and Sub-Zero literally have the exact same outfit on. It's not just similar. It's literally one-to-one the same thing. And now there are slight tweaks on it. Like if you were to look at like the shoulders and the shoulder pads, the mask design is slightly different, but it's the same style of mask, right? It's the same mask. It's like MK11 gear, where it's like, yo, that's the same mask, you just recolored it or you added a little highlight to the design or something like that, right? So the way they look in this trailer is way too similar. Some people say Scorpion has a Lin Kuei symbol on his like ninja garb. I don't know. I'm not zoom enhanced 4K. I'm not paying that close of attention. But for the sake of lore, the Shirai Ryu is a clan that was a spinoff of the Lin Kuei. Of those of y'all who don't know, somebody defected from the Lin Kuei, went to Japan and started the Shirai Ryu. So there is some lore, some history there, but that's not the only reason, right? That's not the only reason. Yes, they look exactly the same, and if just being reasonable and logical would tell you that, hey, the characters that are designed with less I don't want to say less design, less detail. The less detailed characters, the characters with recycled assets and similar, those are probably the assists, because cameo fighters are the assist fighters, right? Can't believe I made it this far in the video without saying cameo. It's crazy. But yeah, they're the assist fighters, so they're not going to have as much love and care as, you know, the playable fighters, right? Gotcha, I hear you there. But the other thing is, if you go to the website, like if you go to Mortal Kombat's website, and just, we've all seen the FAQ, right? The frequently asked questions, like, oh, who's in the game, blah, 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 blah. There's a section on there about cameo fighters, and it's like, what are cameo fighters, the new mechanic, blah, 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 blah. But when you go to the section, when you scroll down to the part that says cameo fighters, it's literally a picture of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. It's literally a picture of these two from the trailer. And they look, like I said, identical. It doesn't show any other characters. It doesn't hint towards any other characters. It shows them too. Now, before, like I said, before y'all say, no, it says they're playable, blah, 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 blah. We've already seen that they're playable. Well, if we go to the FAQ, where, you know, it says the characters, it says, if you read it, let me find it so I can read it verbatim, bruh, because I think people are glossing over it. People are glossing over it, but it says, which characters will be available in Mortal Kombat 1? Mortal Kombat 1 will feature reimagined fighters like they've never been seen before, including Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Kung Lao, Katana, Mileena, Shang Tsung, Johnny Cage, and many others. In no way, shape, or form there does it say playable. So the argument that, hey, they're going to be playable, and I know, they're the poster boys. Sub-Zero and Scorpion are the poster boys. Them not being playable is blasphemy. That's like Ryu not being playable in Street Fighter. And I agree. But it has happened before. Scorpion has not been playable before, not Sub-Zero. And the poster boy of this game is not Scorpion and Sub-Zero, it's Liu Kang. Liu Kang is the main character, obviously. He's always been the protagonist, but now he's the poster boy. He's on the box art. He's the statue. You know what I mean? The trailer is about him. He's the one doing the fatality, not Scorpion. Sub-Zero's not the one getting killed, even though he does get killed in this trailer. He still gets killed. R.I.P. Sub, bro. But I say all that to say, there's a good chance that these two ninjas in the trailer are not playable. Now, the reason I keep calling them the ninjas, the reason I keep referring to them in that type of way is because I don't think these are Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Now, I'm being tongue-in-cheek with that, right? Obviously, it's Scorpion and Sub-Zero. However, I think this is Bi-Han and Hanzo Hasashi. I know it's Hanzo Hasashi. That's not a question, because you see the rope kunai, you see that he's still human, right? They show his human eyes and face. He still got the long hair. He has a scorpion tattoo, but the thing is, when he was a human, the lore changes every few years, so I could be a little bit off with this. When he was a human and he worked with the Shirai Ryu, he was like their deadliest assassin or whatever, and his code name was Scorpion. When he was a human and when he was alive. But when he got killed and reborn, he was Scorpion. He was no longer a human alive. He is not Hanzo anymore, right? It's like in MK11 when, you know, his humanity is restored, they call him Hanzo. But when the Scorpion from the past comes back that's still angry, they call him Scorpion. So they're effectively two different people, even though they're the exact same person, right? I hope that makes sense. So I think this version in the trailer is young Hanzo Hasashi. I think the person that looks similar to him in the blue with the ice powers is Bi-Han. We know Sub-Zero, we know the lore. Sub-Zero is a mantle that's been passed down, right? When Bi-Han dies, Kuai Liang takes up the mantle and becomes Sub-Zero. So Sub-Zero can exist without Bi-Han. It has for a long time. Bi-Han becomes Noob Saibot. We know this, right? So I think, and before, like I said, before y'all kill me, I think these two in the trailer are Hanzo and Bi-Han. I think these are cameo fighters. I think they are assists. I think they help you out in battle. But I think Scorpion and Sub-Zero could still show up as playable characters in the game, right? I know that sounds kind of crazy. Why would they make Scorpion and Sub-Zero assist and make them playable characters? Why wouldn't they just make them playable, blah, 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 blah. We don't know how this cameo system works. We don't know a ton about it. But this is the vibe that I've gotten from the information I've compiled and looked up and everything I've heard, seen, and from what I see in the trailer, right? Now, before you say that doesn't make any sense, there was a DLC leak. I don't know if the DLC leak is real, which is why I didn't make a video about it. It was like an Amazon Italy. It could be wrong, and as we've seen with MK11, DLC can be leaked by NetherRealm, and then not be in the game. Like with Ash Williams, they leaked that themselves. They teased it themselves, and then it never happened, right? So don't assume the DLC leak from Amazon Italy is 100% fact. However, the leaks do happen, and if we are to believe these leaks, the leaks say, I believe, Johnny Cage. I believe, and we know Johnny Cage. We know Johnny Cage is in the game, right? He's confirmed on the website, so we know Johnny Cage is in the game. The leaks say Homelander. They say Peacemaker. They say a lot of crazy things. But interestingly enough, it says Johnny Cage is a cameo character in the leak, right? Now, I don't know anything, but I don't believe for a second that they finally got the Jean-Claude Van Damme Johnny Cage skin, right? That we know this. It's on the website. They got the Jean-Claude Van Damme Johnny Cage skin for the first time in 30 years. They've wanted to do this. I don't believe for a second that they would go through all the trouble to get that skin and then just make it a cameo. Like, let's be honest. Johnny Cage is going to be playable in the game. He's going to be playable in the game. This is just, come on, let's be real here, right? I think we know that. I don't think there's any kind of argument there. You know how pissed off people would be if they said, oh shit, they got Jean-Claude Van Damme in the game, Johnny Cage, that's sick. They buy the game, buy the skin, and then he's just an assist. That's not going to happen. So if this leak is to be believed, if it is, I don't know if it's real, if it's to believe, that means Johnny Cage is playable and he's a cameo fighter, which means Scorpion and Sub-Zero can be playable and have other alternate versions as cameo fighters. But hey, just my theory. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all agree, if y'all disagree. I'm assuming we'll get gameplay at the PlayStation Showcase on Wednesday, but hey, we'll see. That little community chat that they did was cap as hell, but hey, other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Y'all stay safe. JSF, I'm outie. Peace.